She's the slick saleswoman whose tactics will make you sick to the stomach. Dominique Grubishar earns money trawling family law court lists and preying on the vulnerable. She promises riches but leaves families drowning in a sea of debt.
Dominique Grubishar, Steve Marshall from the Current Affair. How are you?
Hi, good, thanks.
How do you sleep at night?
You've been on the Current Affair before, haven't you?
I have indeed,
Do you fancy a sequel?
Your karma is coming, my dear lady.
I just wonder where your morals lie.
If people are repulsed by it, I'm not there to push it onto them.
Is Dominique Grubishar the face of financial freedom or the devil of debt? Yeah, it's got to hurt though, when people say grub by name, grub by nature,
It's an unfortunate name.
Dominique's making millions.
Are you ready to step up and claim the life of your dream?
Teaching her disciples how to get ahead by preying on people in distress. For $35K, Dominique's company will trawl the family court list and teach students how to target emotionally distressed people like divorcees and convince them to sell their property on the cheap.
Every single court list in Australia for public records, so deceased estates, mortgagee bankruptcies, liquidations, sheriff sales, and anybody who would be motivated and looking to sell and stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Hundreds of names and addresses from our most sacred and private institutions, distributed weekly for cold callers hoping to land a bargain from somebody in personal crisis.
We were pushed to send out for the divorces, and we would get responses like, "How did you get our name? Has my husband set you up for me? Why are you doing this to me?"
Dominique Grubishar is now the focus of 2 investigations by the AFP and ASIC. No wonder things are a bit tense when Dom and hubby Kevin duck out for sushi. Kevin, your wife has admitted.
Kevin, please.
Kevin, please. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, we've got a confession to make. 12 years ago, a Current Affair gave Dominique a leg up. She begged to be on our show, and her stock soared.
Can't believe that, Dominic. That's amazing.
We helped launch you.
Yes.
But then after speaking to these people, we're sort of regretting that.
Well, that's unfortunate, Steve.
These days, Dom piggybacks off celebs like Koshi and Jury. She's a lawyer that describes herself as an Aussie battler made good. From losing everything during the GFC to fighting back to be the queen of her own empire, the Dominique Grubishar Institute, DGI.
And I'm very proud of what we do. I don't resile from that.
You're proud of trawling the family court list?
That's not what we do.
For cheap properties?
That's not what we do, Steve. I disagree with that. I reject it. When you're in a tight spot, as I was, and I was a lawyer, I couldn't think, I couldn't move. I felt like there were vultures preying on me at every angle. So I'm on a mission to help people.
Have you not then taken up the position of a financial vulture?
I totally disagree and reject that.
But Dominique's former students are piling on, providing statements to the AFP and ASIC.
I spoke to the head coach, and his words to me were, "It's about purchasing houses at underprice."
Rachel recorded that training session with DGI head coach Phil Roberts.
But it's gold to know when you're looking at a property that's for sale that there is a divorce in the background, because that then leaves it open to lowball offers.
Is divorce gold to you?
Divorce is a terrible situation.
So why does Mr. Roberts describe it as gold?
That was out of context. Phil perhaps said, write letters, write letters. We are telling people at the moment, especially in a hot market, to write letters and look for off-market deals. But I can't...
But he didn't say that, though. I mean, do you support that narrative?
Steve, That is a 1 hour coaching call. You've played me 2 sentences of it. With respect, that's unfair, but absolutely I do not endorse what the passage you've just played, go for divorce, because you can make lowball offers.
Dom's in damage control, trying to hose down 1,500 disgruntled clients in this anti-DGI Facebook group.
Yeah, it's all a big lie.
Josie claims a DGI product with a grandiose guarantee that her assets would be protected from creditors isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Well, it's heartbreaking.
Josie lost everything when her family business went belly up.
Because I had this false sense of security, I paid $7,000 for the product and it's worth $0.
I'm not going to comment on client individual cases.
Look, this is extremely important, Dominique.
So is legal professional privilege, Steve. You must understand, you know as a journalist, you don't name your sources. I'm not going into individuals' financial, personal affairs on national television.
They're the 2 bits of evidence that will put a stake through her heart professionally.
Barry claims DGI created a fake loan, fudging his financial position to make him look worse off.
They were putting fake amounts of money on loans that didn't exist.
It gave an Indian-based DGI credit specialist leverage to demand Westpac knock 80% off his mortgage repayments.
Well, I don't know how she founded her argument against the bank because it just didn't make sense. It was just stupid. It was just ridiculous and it was totally irrelevant.
But then the trust.
Rachel claims DGI cooked up a similar scenario when she was drowning in debt.
I feel faint just thinking about it.
But the alleged tactic didn't stop the debt collector knocking on the family door.
I don't let them know how much pain I'm in, or how much debt I'm in, or how much things are falling apart around me.
As I said, Steve, I can't speak to individual circumstances.
When you put all these allegations together, Dominique, the word fraudulent pops up, that there's fraudulent behaviour going on here at DGI. What do you make of that assertion?
I totally disagree with that. I dispute that and I refute it in every sense. There is a smear campaign.
Ethically, I just could not do it.
John Marriott worked in DGI sales, but he couldn't trade his morals for the $50K a month in commissions he could earn.
DGI would have to be the most unscrupulous company I've ever had the misfortune of working for.
Not everyone is a fit for the levels that I demand.
What if they leave because ethically they feel they just couldn't carry out your instructions?
Nobody has left for that reason, Steve, so I dispute that.
With her own livelihood now on the line, Dominique Grubischer is hungrier than ever to turn things around.
I will spend my energies where I can have the most impact and add the most value.
Sushi for lunch today?
No, I'll be fine. Thanks, Steve. I had lunch already.
The Family Court of Australia say it would be of serious concern if any court material was to be used for commercial gain, and serious penalties can apply.